Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to come on here and do a little story time because the whole Brian Laundrie thing has really brought to everybody's, the forefront of everybody's mind, not everybody, but a lot of people's, about what's going on, how we're being fed information, and how much we are being kept in the dark. So that's probably gonna be another video entirely, but I wanted to go into the story time to kind of explain what a psychic medium can go through. This is a personal experience that I had. I am going to be keeping the people's names out of it for their privacy. But I wanted to share this. It was a situation where I went into a medium session in person. And the majority of the ones that I do are from all over the world because of the YouTube channel. And, like 99% of my personal readings are legit, like they're right on. This one was the most bizarre. So when I get contracted to do a session for someone, generally the spirits will start coming in and start talking to me beforehand. And it's kind of annoying because I'm like, okay, thanks, but hold on until the session starts. The majority of the time, they'll even come the night before or during, just before. So I had one where I went in and this young kid came through telling me all about himself. So I was like, okay. So I go to the session and I've never experienced this before, where the person who the person came to see did not want to come through. They did not want to talk to that person who paid me to do them a service. It was the most awkward situation thus far I've been in. So what I had ascertained is the person who they actually wanted to talk to was putting someone else in front of me and saying, okay, here's the decoy. So when I get into the session, the woman is like, no, I don't know who you're talking about. I mean, I had a name, they give me all these details about themselves, and come to find out that her son was actually in a darker place, but also had passed over, but chose to keep going back and forth because he realized he could help people. They were in the dark and he thought he was depressed and sad and in the dark. But when he got there, he was like, well, I'm not doing too bad. Let me see if I can help these people. And he was expressing that to her. But it was so bizarre to me because in this session, it was so awkward because she really wanted to hear, that he was great, he was in heaven, he was with so-and-so. And everybody wants to hear the highest and best. Like, oh my gosh, they're in heaven and they're smiling and they got the wings. That's not how all the cases are. For me, it was very difficult because her son actually put someone he met in my way. And I was like, why would you do that? And it was just a very bizarre, awkward session. And I almost ended it because to me, I'm trying to ascertain what the hell's going on. Because I'm like, okay, this isn't your son. Well, then who the heck is this? Because I've never had someone go, I don't really want to talk to her. Here, why don't you go mess the situation up? And then to make it more awkward, after that, I talked to her son's girlfriend. And she was the person in the physical who was having another session. Lovely girl, or young lady, I should say. And because when I walked in the house originally, there was energy flying all over the place. And I was like, oh my God, like what is going on in here? And I see that there's some witchcraft stuff. And I am not against witchcraft. I actually love it. It depends on how someone uses it. And when someone's using it while they're grieving, it can be a bad combination. So as soon as I started the second session with the girlfriend of the deceased young man, he totally wanted to talk. He had so much to say. Her guides came through. It was like, it just flowed so well. And so I'm assuming that the session was actually for her. But it was heartbreaking for the mother because she was getting all this conflicting information. So she assumed that I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. And granted, totally looked like it because her son put a decoy in front of me because he didn't really want to talk to his own mother, which is so weird. But because of the circumstances, it wasn't like it was just the regular ghosty situation. There was demons involved. And you can't go in and tell a mother that. The girlfriend was much more open to concepts about spirituality as far as like mediumship and, that sort of stuff. So she was totally on board, on par. Had to talk to her about closing up some of the portals that she had opened through trying to contact her loved one. And come to find out, the apartment that she was living in was converted from a large old hospital. And I'm like, well, no wonder there's all these spirits coming and going. And then you throw in the mix of some mental illness, darker entities are going to be like, yeah, lunchtime. And so, I had a great session with the girlfriend. And because the son was, her boyfriend was just so talkative. He even told her, like, you need to move out of here. You need to make some hard choices about what you're going to do in the future. And it was so bad that when I got home, I was completely drained. Completely. And my guides had been working with me prior to this in dealing with darker energies. And I hate to say the word demon, but, because I think there's a gradience of energy. It's not necessarily like good or bad. But I was so drained that even that night I had a dream about this young lady, the girlfriend of the deceased person. And there was an actual, what I quote unquote, dark energy wrapped around her. And I was actually having a conversation with this dark energy, trying to persuade this being, this demon, to leave. But of course, I can do what I can do, but I can, if she wants to keep it, or she doesn't know how to let go of it herself, or she keeps inviting it in, there's nothing I can do. So after that, I was sick, literally, for an entire week. I was a little upset with my guides, and I was like, seriously, people, you're going to send me into a dark situation where there's energies everywhere, and I'm trying to interpret this for this poor grieving woman who I don't know what the hell's happening because her son or whomever was, putting this decoy in front of me to throw the whole thing off, so he didn't really have to communicate with her. It was a very, very strange thing. And to be sick for a week, like literally took all of my energy to be able to help this young lady out. And I hope that she decided to move out of there or, close up the portals that she had opened up to try to communicate with him. And then there was intoxicants involved. And, that further complicates it when you're trying to grieve. But I did genuinely feel sorry for the mother because there's absolutely no way that I could have ever told her. Because at the time of the reading when I was with her, I didn't know what the hell was going on either. And so during this session when I'm supposed to be like, oh, he's in love and he's in light and he's, no. I'm trying to ascertain, like, why is he still in the dark? Blah, 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 blah. Why is this person in front of me? That is this, because the other person he was putting up as a decoy, nice kid, nothing bad about him, pleasant to talk to. And even before I left for the session, the son had come in and said, can you please give my mother and my girlfriend a rock? And he was so specific. He told me which ones, and I got a rock problem, a rock and mineral problem. So I have many. So, you know, I gave the ones, well, actually, I started going to the session and he was like, no, you forgot these minerals. Please go back. So I was like, fine. So I went back, came here, got the rocks, left, and gave them to them. So, you know, and I do that often with sessions, especially if they're, you know, friends and family, but generally I'm not going to give them away because those are a little bit of an investment for me. And, you know I shouldn't be so, they're mine. But I wanted to share that with you because when a psychic medium or a psychic, however they describe themselves, because there's so many different versions, it's just, everybody works in a different way. And to try to understand everything that's being thrown at you, especially in a situation where you don't have control of the environment, you haven't been able to cleanse it, you know, all of these other aspects, you don't know what's in the home or around the person or infiltrated their system. There's so many layers to this. So I find it interesting when some people were, you know, commenting on my videos about Brian Laundrie and others. It was like, well, that's easy for you to say, but you come try to do this, because there is so many multiple facets to it. And, you know, like I said last night on the other video, like, I find this stuff so fascinating. This is like the greatest thrill of my life. Whether I'm wrong, right, good, indifferent, whatever, I try to always work from integrity. Sorry, I have incense going. It's getting in my face. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And what else? What else do I want to share? Yeah, I mean, to be sick for an entire week. And it wasn't like I was like, no. It was like all the energy had been drained out of every part of my energy system and physical body. And so, yet again, another lesson. You know, because if you've been on my channel before, you know that I'm all about healing and expanding. Because if you don't heal, you don't have the room to grow. You're just going to stay in that loop. So I hope that was interesting. And if you guys want me to, I will share some more interesting experiences in a part where, you know, because for me, I liked, when I was younger, I would always try to experiment and go, am I right? Like a long time ago, I put out a Craigslist ad, God, like 2011. And I was like, I want to experiment with myself. So I gave away free readings on there to test myself, to be like, am I full of BS or is some of this stuff correct? And, you know, it's a lot about trusting yourself. But yeah. Okay, so I could talk forever, so I will stop. All right, you guys, you have a good day. Comments, only appropriate comments, please. Nobody needs negativity because there's enough in the world. I hope we could all agree on that. So comments, liking, subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.